Hi, today I'm going to be making chicken tortilla soup. I'm going to be using the slow cooker. We're going to turn it up on high, and this should take about 4 hours. Now this is a nice soup if you want to get the ingredients in the morning, turn it up on high, let it cook for 4.5 hours, and this afternoon we'll have a really tasty soup. Now, I want to go over the ingredients real quick for it with you. The first thing I have over here will be what I call the pantry items. These are the things that you buy one time and will use often. And then over here we have the items that we're going to be using specifically for this soup. Okay, let me get a little bit better picture here and we'll go over them real quick. Okay, so over here in our pantry items we have some extra virgin olive oil, chili powder, and powdered cumin. Okay. For the soup itself, we're going to be using some black beans, any brand will do, some tomato paste, this is chicken broth, low sodium, we've got some Rotel. We're going to dice this onion and cook it till it's clarified, along with 3 cloves of garlic. We're also going to be putting some corn in here. This is frozen corn. I personally prefer frozen corn over canned corn. You can use canned corn if you like. Now for the chicken, we're going to be using a pre-cooked chicken. This is a fajita chicken, so it already has some spices in it. It's already been cooked. It's real easy. We're just going to throw it in the pot, maybe break the pieces up a little bit. But this is going to be make it very quick. Okay, now I wanted to give you a little bit better explanation of the chicken that we're using. Now it is completely acceptable to get regular chicken breast, uncooked chicken breast, season it, cook it, and then put it in the slow cooker. But to expedite this meal, make it a little bit easier, we're going to go with the pre-cooked chicken that already has some Southwest flavor to it. And another change we're going to be making. This is a chicken tortilla soup, and typically you would take tortillas, corn tortillas, slice them up in small strips, put them on a pan and bake them at 350 degrees until they're crispy. Again, we don't want to go to that much trouble in this particular soup, so what we're going to do is substitute that for regular corn chips. We try to get some that don't have any flavoring on them. And we may have to break them up into a little bit smaller pieces when we actually put them in the soup. Okay, so let's get going on this, and it may make more sense as we're moving on. Okay, so the only utensils we're going to be using today, we're going to use a small frying pan. This is a non-stick frying pan, and a non-stick suitable spatula. I'm going to be using a small cutting board with a good sharp knife, and the crock pot itself. Okay, because this is a slow cooker, it does take a while to get up to temperature. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get as much into the slow cooker as I possibly can and get the temperature starting to come up so that it'll be ready to cook once we get all the ingredients in there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the chicken broth. And again, this is low sodium chicken broth. Just pour that right in there. Now, as soon as we have some fluid in there, we'll go ahead and turn this up to high. Alrighty. Next thing we're going to add is the chicken. These sometimes tear apart pretty easy, sometimes not. One of the indispensable tools in the kitchen is a pair of scissors. And like I say, you can look at it and see if there's any really big pieces in there. This does not appear to be, so I'm just going to dump the whole package. Show you what this looks like in here. There's some yummy chicken in there, huh? Alright. Now you want about 2 full-size chicken breasts. This may be, both these packages together, maybe a little bit more than that. but I like my meat. All right. Next thing I can get in there is some corn. I'm not going to use the whole package of corn. I'm going to use about half of this. Let's see, this one's carrot. All right. So maybe about half a package of this corn. And this is not rocket science, okay? Just throw some in there, make it whatever feels good. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is my Rotel. Now there are electric can openers available. I prefer old school, no batteries, AC power. It always works. So I'm going to pour that in there, juice and all, just dump it right in. Okay. And now for some tomato paste. Just got a little tricky here. Okay. Okay, so we probably don't want more than about 2 tablespoons, 2 to 3 tablespoons. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of measure that out. There we go. Just kind of give this a good stir here. As this just gets up to temperature, the tomato paste will start to break down a little bit. If you're looking at it right now, you may see some chunks of it still in there. That's okay for now. Okay. And the next thing we do is the black beans. Now, black beans, we do have to strain them. We do not want to use the juice out of the black beans. So there's a couple different ways to do that. You can use a small strainer, something like this. What I'm going to do is I've got a small colander here, just about the right size for a can of beans. I'm going to go just dump the can of beans in the colander and run some cool water over to get rid of the sauce, and I'll be right back. Okay, so there we've rinsed them out. You can kind of see them in there. I just put them back in the can for ease of transport from the sink back to the slow cooker. And again, I'm probably only going to use maybe a half to 3/4 of this can of beans. I'm not going to use the whole can. And again, you just have to make your own judgment call on that. Okay, so the next thing we have is the onion and the garlic. And we're gonna cut these guys up. So let's get to that real quick. All right, so I'm gonna take care of my onion here real quick and just chop the ends of it off here real quick. Make a small cut in that to let us pull that outside covering off. Okay, now I'm going to be cooking these down in the pan, and they're also going to be cooking down in the soup, so I don't need to make them really teeny tiny. Okay. Okay, now we're going to deal with our clove here of garlic. And I just don't want to pull 3 of these little guys out of here. There goes one. Alright, chop the ends of these guys off here. so there we got our garlic and our onion in our pan. This is where we're going to just drizzle a little bit of this olive oil down in here. We don't need a whole lot. Okay, so now we're going to take this over to the stove and kind of get these onions clarified. All right, so here we go. We are got our onions and our garlic and a little bit of olive oil in the pan here, and we're just going to cook them until they're clarified. Them until they're, you know, completely obliterated. Man, I wish we had smell-o-vision. That is, oh man. Wonderful. Well, and I'll just continue cooking with the remaining heat that's in the pan. You can see I'm kind of letting them turn a little bit brown. That's just the way I like them. You don't have to do that. You could have pulled them out a few seconds sooner. But that looks pretty good to me. Let's go ahead and get these into the pot. All right, so this had a few minutes to warm up, so just to alleviate any accidents, we'll just use a pot holder to take that lid off. And we're just going to head and add in our onions and garlic. Man, does that smell good. All right, let's give that a stir. Okay, now our typical recipe usually adds about 4 cups of water. I think I'm going to have to add that in here just by the way this looks. And I'm also going to go ahead and add my spices in here. So let me get my water and I'll be right back. Okay, so into this mix, I'm going to add my 1 teaspoon of chili powder. Just sprinkle that bad boy in there. And 1 teaspoon of cumin. You have to dump this in a little bit, be careful there. Alright, now we've put in the water. Okay, so that's it for right now. All we have to do is let the slow cooker do its work. Again, it's on high, probably take 4 hours. We're going to come back, and in that time, all of those flavors will fuse together. Probably add our tortilla chips, maybe about 10-15 minutes before we're ready to eat, and then we'll put a little garnish on top and make it look nice. Okay, so stand by. Okay, so in preparation of the soup, I'm going to go ahead and fix up a garnish. It's been just about time. The soup is just about ready. And we'll slice up an avocado here. There's a lot of different ways of making avocado slices. Alright, we get rid of all this mess here. All right, so let's take a look and see what the soup looks like here. Yeah, it's definitely good and hot. Got a little bit of a good rolling boil there. Let's see if I can grab a ladle. Well, let's see what we got. There you go. There's the goodness. Yeah, look at that. That is scrummy diddly umptious. Okay. Ladle this in here. Just a little more in here. Okay, now, like I said, we take tortilla chips and we'll just put a little tortilla chip garnish here on the top. And a few slices of avocado. Get a nice one here. A couple of nice ones. Okay. Okay, and there you have it. A easy, tasty tortilla soup. Enjoy.